All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is our very late, because I was talking a lot, custom RPG set in my weird, messed up demi-plane of screwed upness. And the people below me haven't gotten sick enough of my voice to tell me to screw off. That being said, announce your moments. Go buy my new class. Go to Dungeon Masters Guild. Type in the Dragon Knight class. Go get it. You can get it for free as well, but I'd prefer if you buy it, just because I like money. And I haven't. I've made little to nothing in the 6 years it has existed, so hooray for me. But it is a platinum bestseller, so. Otherwise, any other cool things? Strixhaven is coming out next month. That should be cool. Fizzbands came out last month. That was cool. Still is cool. Pick up Fizzbands. Yeah. Acquisitions Incorporated, the C Team, ended its run tonight, just like an hour ago. Which is, no one cares, but it was a weekly Acquisitions Incorporated game run by Jerry. I can't remember Jerry's last name. Jerry from Penny Arcade actually ran it. The guy that plays Omen Dran ran this campaign. And after I think it's been 6 or 7 years now, they ended the campaign finally. So I don't know if it started, but it played on Hyper when Hyper had the Seattle studio, because they partnered with Penny Arcade when they were in Seattle for their first, I think it was their first year. And so the C Team, I can't remember if it started then, but it was a part of Hyper for a little bit. And then because Seattle is not friendly to small businesses in general, especially small businesses that are incorporated in California, because tax laws from 2 different states that are both massively high taxes, they decided to abandon Seattle. That, and they also mentioned that I think their exact phrasing was they just didn't have the talent pool in Seattle that they do in LA, which translated directly to there are more people in LA that are willing to work for next to nothing than there are in Seattle.
Yeah.
Because actors, starving artists in general, will do what is necessary to not starve, but they don't. Starving artists in Seattle aren't actors. They're artists. Visual artists and things like that. And every so often, the odd band. There's a remarkably number of alternate rock bands and things like that all started in Seattle and Portland, which I realize is a state away, but they feel like the same city.
Yeah.
Like they have the same people live in Portland that also live in Seattle. There's not a ton of... The difference really is cost of living. Seattle's more expensive, and that's mostly because Amazon is there. And it's I interviewed for Amazon once. It is a gorgeous city. It really is. If it didn't cost $17,000 a week to live there, it would probably be pretty cool. Anyway, anything cool happen with you guys? You want to advertise? Anyone want to plug anything? Anyone want to make up something to plug?
I'm writing a book for NaNoWriMo.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you been able... I know most people that do NaNoWriMo will have a word count or a page count or something. Have you been able to keep up with your page counts so far, or you already started?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I wasn't able to write for the first 10 days.
That'll do it.
So... yeah, I'm 500 words into my book.
That's still 500 words.
Right, yeah.
You have written more of a book than I have.
And oddly enough, it starts off with a D&D session.
Yay!
In space.
D&D in space. Hey, you have hooked me on this book.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I don't know how I got into writer circles, but I somehow did, despite not being a writer. And so half of my Facebook friends do NaNoWriMo every year. I don't think I've seen a single one of them ever make it to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I've tried a few times and
when you think about, because I have a friend that is a twice published. Actually, she's been published quite a few times, but she's wonderful. Go out and buy Alice the Terramarium Chronicles and the sequel that just came out, Changeling.
Wasn't that just released on Kindle as well?
Yes, it's now released on Kindle. It's on Nook. It took them forever to get the digital copies out, but they exist now. So go get them. It's a really wonderful book series. I love it. But anyway, so I've talked to the author's name is Kiri. She's wonderful. Kiri Callaghan. She plays in my Zelda game. I've talked to Kiri about writing a book. NaNoWriMo has almost as much to do with writing a book as running a marathon has to do with surviving the zombie apocalypse. Yes, both will include running, but that's about where it ends. NaNoWriMo is a marathon for writers, and if you can make through any portion of it, it will make you a better writer just from doing it.
Yeah.
So I always applaud everyone that has the gumption to try it. Try it and don't be upset when you fail, because you probably will at least your first couple to the times. But it's such a great tool for improving your writing and learning new things about how you write. So yeah. So try NaNoWriMo. And if you have friends that actually publish or finish something during NaNoWriMo, read their stuff. They put a lot of work into it. Go and read their stuff. It's hard. And buy Kiri's book. So that being said, by the way, if you're wondering, the one book I have on my bookshelf, that is Alice the Terramarium Chronicles. And Changeling is next to my bed. Because I haven't finished reading it yet, because it's heavy. So yeah, other than that, perhaps we should D&D? I think that sounds good, yeah. So now to return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party has conquered the river in all its tentacled madness. They finally made it to the city of Ilmorn in hopes of discovering some of the things that the Dark Lord has seeded throughout the realms, and perhaps discovering a little more about their personal connections to the Dark Lord's sources of power. When they got to the city, they discovered the city was closed, which seemed strange. Vala not wanting people to recognize her from her previous experience here, donned a disguise, and they went to the door and had a strangely one-sided argument with a door. While they were there, however, people they'd never met before came and vouched for them and brought them somewhere else. They very soon realized that they were being kidnapped and were sequestered away in a hidden passage inside the walls somewhere. They discovered that this group of wannabe rebels was going to attempt to overthrow the mayor, something that Vala had a fair amount of experience dealing with. Though this time she decided perhaps she would take a different approach. After confusing them rather intently, they found one more ally they were surprised at, a blood hunter, whom Liliane recognized, but the blood hunter didn't seem to recognize her. Now the party is locked in a wooden box, effectively. A large wooden box, but a wooden box nonetheless, as they wait for their captors to come back and fill them in on more of the plan to overthrow the aristocracy. The only thing I don't like about the volume controls for Roll20 is you can't slowly pan anything down. Like when you change the volume, whatever you set it at, it just jumps there. So I can't fade out or fade in my music. Roll20, get on that. So, again, you guys are effectively in a big old box. Remind me quickly, when we last left off, you guys had all your stuff because they just left all your stuff in a big old pile in the middle, and everyone had left. Did you guys decide to take a long rest or not, or have we not gotten that far?
I don't think we got that far.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
All right.
I'm still missing a spell slot.
All right. So again, you guys are in this effectively wooden box somewhere inside the city, though technically you haven't been told where. Vala's own knowledge of the city, you're relatively certain you're somewhere on the southeastern part of the city. And the door itself is a relatively simple door, and it's barred from the other side. So there's no lock or anything you could pick on this side. It's just a big old wooden bar on the other side. But it is just a wooden door. It's a somewhat sturdy door, but still wood. So, with that knowledge, what would you all like to do?
Vala begins contemplating burning the door down. No. Well, I think that went fairly well.
Yeah.
But it sounds like tomorrow we need to rescue a friend of yours.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of that for me. Now, slowly, I went inside the blood, but I didn't know it anymore.
You recognize him. Whether you knew his name or not, I will let you decide. It was not your mentor in the Blood Hunters. Is all I'll reference. He was in the group that when you blessed your sword.
Yeah.
He was part of that group. He was just not one that I specifically gave a name to or anything like that. So, again, entirely up to you. You may have known this person before, gone on blood hunts with them when you were still learning, but the only key defining factors, they are not your mentor.
Yeah, the boy be here, that boy so fucking, I know he was with us, when we fought the vampire, but I don't think I ever remember my name, but, he'll be here. I'm wondering if
sorry, was there a question at the end there that I missed?
No.
Okay. I'm sitting here and I'm processing and I'm reading something else to prepare for the next thing I'm doing, and I wasn't sure if I missed part of what you
No,
were saying.
that would be talking to Bella.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think we should definitely try to rescue your friend. Whoever's being kept, I'm assuming they're being kept in the old, under my old manor. Yeah, if that's where they're going to be interrogating them.
Is that what you were, with me when you were here?
That's where I would have interrogated him, yes. I'm assuming in my past I never ran across any of the blood hunters that I recognized.
Recognized? No. Every so often, one of the revolutionary groups that you had to deal with would contain blood hunters. And I will say, you did. One of the revolutionaries that you were never quite able to crack wasn't a blood hunter, but had some mysterious abilities that reminded you of Liliana. They weren't blood hunter abilities, but he had a strange kind of connection to the life force of other creatures, which made questioning him remarkably difficult. And to your knowledge, when you left, he was still in one of the cages, because you guys would just give up and move on to a new target, and then would come back to him every so often, because the mayor kept telling you that he knew something, and whenever you couldn't get anything from him, you would just go to someone else, come back to him. So you just had this kind of, whenever you didn't have someone to interrogate, you had this spirit who was like, oh, let's bring him out again. We haven't done anything to him in a couple weeks.
Oh god, I can't think of his name, but yes, from Farscape.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Oh, now. My side, your side. My side, your side.
Exactly. Got it.
Very, I hadn't made that connection in my brain yet, but that might, subconsciously, that might be where he came from. I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, that basic, yeah, got it. Okay.
He was just your permanent prisoner. He had been there. He'd been there longer than you had. When you first came in, he was the first person that you ever interrogated, and you couldn't break him. And then you just kept coming back to him.
What you do?
So yeah, yes. The underground complex is most likely where they're being held. I believe there's at least one back door I know of that I believe we escaped through last time. So I don't know what this what am I thinking of? I don't know if your friend if your friend here or if this group has an idea of how to get in. If not, I know of at least one way.
So we're seriously contemplating helping people that are keeping us prisoner. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Why?
Because we want to overthrow the mayor, right? For that, we will need an army. We have an army.
Whatever your logic is, I just see that we're being held prisoner and being forced to do this, but we'll go with your plan.
I
mean, it'd be a better.
we have to at least rescue Lilian's friend, and our goals and our captor's goals are not dissimilar. We just have to convince them not to murder me to get to their goals. That's all.
I just want you to be aware of what Stockholm Syndrome is, and I'll just walk to the other side of the room.
We came here praying to overthrow the mayor. I mean, I know about the reason we prayed the noble, but so you have to provide with what you have. It's that simple.
As you guys are speaking, you hear the sound of wood scraping against wood behind one of the walls on the north side. And you feel a little vibration in the floor, and then you watch as a panel of the wall kind of slides up, and you see, effectively looks kind of like a dumbwaiter, descends down with food. It's got some rolls that look somewhat stale, and a couple water skins of water.
I will take a stale roll.
I do not eat.
I'll just have some rations.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever I have.
Okay.
Fine, more rolls for me. So is this going to be a Constitution saving throw or a Wisdom throw? Or...
It's not bad. If you've ever had like day old like rye, where it's got that or day old sourdough, where it's got that kind of tang to it, and it's tough, but it's definitely edible. You don't think this is going to hurt you in any way. It's just, it was freshly baked a little while ago.
Okay.
So anything else you guys want to do before you get some sleep?
No.
No.
Okay.
I am going to try using sending, I believe.
Okay. To whom?
Leopold.
Leopold. Okay. Make me a wisdom save.
Okay. 14.
Cool. What do you want to say?
I just want to let him just kind of like as everybody's going to bed, I will just as part of my nightly routine, I'll cast spending or cast sending.
Spending as if it's long distance.
And mute out my Captain Crunch whistle. Just let him know we're so we've come to Ilmorn, and looks like I'm going to be facing some of my own demons here. It's a little disquieting, but it's gonna have to happen sooner or later. I hope you're not here, but if you are, I hope you're not suffering too badly.
As you kind of wait for the response, you feel a strange sensation behind your eyes. You're not quite sure what to call it at first, and then it kind of erupts, and you get this kind of instant migraine. And while you're there, you've cast this spell before, and the recipient didn't receive it, and you've cast it and had people talk back to you. This is the first time you've actually gotten a message back, and it was dead air. You're not even sure the spell should work that way. It requires you to say things for it to work. But for whatever reason, in your mind, you just kind of hear dead air for about a minute. And then once the dead air ends, the migraine subsides. It's still kind of sore, but the actual throbbing pain goes away. And everything goes back to normal.
That was new.
What?
This place does weird things. Sometimes when I cast spells, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And that time, I don't know what happened. But is anybody else up, or is it just Lillian who overheard me?
I would say you probably said that pretty softly in general, so I would say probably Lillian was the only one that might have heard you. Unless you intended it to be louder.
I was trying to cast Sending to reach out to Leopold.
Mm.
And it felt like the spell went through, but I didn't get a response back to get anything. Just nothing. And not that he didn't get it. Just I got nothing back as something. I've tried casting it before, and I don't know, it was late. I think I fell asleep. I may have been dreaming, but I thought I saw him. Which the spell shouldn't do, but this place is weird.
You saw him?
Almost like a scrying spell. And then he spoke to me. But I think it was somebody waking me up. So, I don't know. I don't know if he's here, or if I'm just imagining things. But
What was that before we all reconnected, or?
I think it might have been just before we found you.
Oh.
I know in the past I tried sending messages to all of you, and it would just be like the spell either didn't go through or wouldn't connect. Sometimes I just get a busy signal, but since Commander brought us all back together, it seems like it's been working more, but I still haven't been able to actually reach out to him. Like I said, I don't know if maybe he's like your friend was in Middenwell, where he may be there, but is just under some kind of magic preventing him from remembering who I am, who he is.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about the Star Wars. We know that he is wise, making people suffer. And I feel like that would be a perfect way to make people suffer. He used to be honest.
Right.
To
Now,
make him not remember you, not remember.
actually, I have a horrible idea.
I made my brother, what are you?
knowing how, Leopold, his feelings for me, and how he has been striving for redemption, I think the most horrible thing I could imagine if I was the Dark Lord would be to have him turn me. And have me ruling next to him.
Taking notes.
having me rule next to him and having Leopold have to try to rein in my darker instincts.
George, how do you come up with your ideas? Well, let me tell you. Sorry.
Never tell the... Right? But I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking I've had a lot of time to think dark thoughts in this town. Maybe coming back here is, I don't know. I really just want to burn this whole place to the ground.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I know that seems to be my reaction to everything, but...
True.
But anyways, we should probably get some rest.
Yeah.
So you guys are able to get some sleep. Vala, you specifically, you do not have the most restful sleep. You keep waking up every hour or two, vividly reliving some of your interrogation sessions. The final time you fall asleep, you are remembering the first interrogation session you ever had. You see the mayor has sent someone has sent you to this manor house that will one day become yours. And you meet this kind of grizzled looking gentleman. He's got a scar on his lip that goes down here, and he's got another one that just goes up the side of his face. One of his eyes is white and obviously sightless. And you can see the telltale signs of noose marks on his neck that seem to have never quite healed. He speaks with this incredibly gruff voice, like he's gargled with gravel and shards of glass. And he brings you into the manor house. And at first you think it's not going to be that bad, because the manor house is very nice. It's abandoned at this point, so there's sheets over everything, but it's like, well, this won't be too bad. And he eventually takes you through the secret passages, and you go lower and lower. The air itself gets heavier and heavier. And eventually you see a man strapped to his chair. You're not quite sure what his natural hair color is, because there's so much grime and blood and dirt in his hair that it is this strange kind of reddish black brown color that changes randomly throughout. One of his eyes is swollen shut. His lip is swollen and cracked down the middle. The top lip has another gash that goes nearly up to his eye. And yet, as you come down, he's staring at you with his one good eye defiantly. He can't hold the rest of his body up, but he's looking directly at you. And he comes in, and the interrogator goes, "These are the things that we've done so far." And he proceeds to just beat him within an inch of his life. You can see other torture implements along the side of the wall. Pokers that obviously have been heated and cooled many, many times. Other things that just look atrocious. And after he uses a few of them, and you're getting to the point where you're not okay with this, and you can't really understand why you haven't left, he suddenly stops and goes, "Well, maybe you have a better idea." So in that moment, you suddenly feel that you're there. What do you do?
I think I would ask, leave us.
He looks at you strangely.
Wait outside the door.
I'll be right there. Don't try anything. And he slowly wanders out. The door closes with a thud. As he leaves, you can feel the weight of the room changes slightly. Something about him is just so dark that it actually brought the entire room down. Now you're alone with him. The guy in the chair kind of, again, looks up at you defiantly as much as he can. You see him kind of move his tongue around in his mouth. He goes, you see he's trying to spit at you, but he's so weak at this point. And you can see he's relatively badly dehydrated as well. So nothing comes out. There's this little bit of incredibly kind of thick, sappy saliva that just dribbles down a little bit. It's mixed with blood, which is the only moisture that seems to be in his mouth at this point.
Is there any water in the room?
The one source of water you see as you get close to it, you would not want to imbibe it. As you get close, you get a very strong scent of vinegar from it. You get the idea that this is meant to dehydrate. And if you had to guess, you would think that the actual water that's mixed in with the vinegar probably is heavily salted.
Got it. And then if there's nothing for him to drink, I'm assuming I don't have anything on me.
You have all of your equipment you normally had aside from the dagger because you haven't received that yet. But otherwise, you have access to all of your spells. You have anything that you would normally have on you. You would have, aside from maybe like stuff that you would keep, like your bedroll and things like that. Rations you probably wouldn't have.
So I probably wouldn't have like a water skin.
You it wouldn't be uncommon for you to carry at least a small water skin with you. So I would say, yeah, sure, you have a water skin.
Okay, so yeah, I think my plan would be then to kind of go over to him, use what is that spell? I would use Cure Wounds at first level.
Okay.
To help heal him, and then give him some water, and say, I don't relish seeing this.
Before we get to that, as you cast Cure Wounds, as you place your hand on him and you feel the magic kind of leave your body and enters him, you watch as his skin right where you placed your hand starts to blister and it spreads down his arm. You would kind of expect him to kind of cry out in pain or something, because this is it. Visually, it looks like you just cast Inflict Wounds. But he doesn't cry out or anything. You watch him kind of grit his teeth and inhale a little bit. But then the spell, because it's a first level spell, ends and the blisters themselves start to kind of mellow out a little bit.
I'm sorry for that.
Again, you see him trying to spit at you. Doesn't even get the little bit to come out this time.
I'll kind of like hold the water. I don't relish this. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want them to hurt you. Just tell us what we need to know. I can make your suffering stop.
So he drinks some of the water. The first bit he kind of spits out, and then you kind of give it to him again. He realizes this is actual water. and you watch him drink as much as he can. He starts to cough a little bit from just drinking too fast.
Oh, slow, slow. Not all at once.
His mouth loosens a little bit. You can see some of his saliva starts to return. Whatever you think you're gonna get out of me, you're not. You have no power here. She's decided it's not time for me to die, so I won't. There's nothing you can do because it's her decision. When I pass from this life into her embrace.
Is this
As
the
he
life?
does that, you watch a necklace you hadn't seen before kind of slink out, and you see the symbol of the Dark Lady.
Friend, is this really the life you want to live? Of agony?
If she wills it. That vampire scum will never get me. And as long as he's focused on me, he'll never get anyone else. Do your worst, slave. And then you're awake. Waking from a nightmare like this is jarring normally. This is the first time when you wake up, you're covered in a cold flop sweat. Your mat is drenched. Your clothing itself is wet enough that you almost feel like you have jumped into a lake or something fully clothed. As you wake up, your mouth is bone dry.
I will, is there any, I'm assuming if there's a window we can kind of see it's beginning
Unfortunately,
a little bit of light.
there's no windows in here. It's just a big old box. So you would guess with how many times you've kind of woken up, you think it's probably close to morning at this point. And you can see the rest of the party is starting to stir as well. So.
And I will just very quietly use prestidigitation to clean myself up.
Okay.
And
fresh.
yes, the whole room now smells like pine sol.
That's the power of pine sol. Sorry.
You know, you talk a lot in your sleep, fella.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I'll be glad when we can put this place behind us.
I mean, I've been up for 4 hours. I've just been watching.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Point to my ears.
Well, I hope I didn't disturb your rest.
Oh, I was up before you even went to bed. At least you guys get the benefit of knowing I'm sleeping for a little bit, whereas Commander, he just knew I was always watching him. No, makes you wonder why he hated me, huh?
Yeah. I don't think he hated you.
Oh, he told me several times. Sometimes he'd throw a pillow at me because it was creepy. Yet he kept bunking with me when I didn't need a room. But whatever.
Right. Well, that's okay. He always wanted to put me on a leash.
Well, that's warranted.
As you guys are speaking, you suddenly hear again the sound of wood scraping on wood. This time from the door, as the large beam that is locking you in is lifted, and you see the door open, and you see your revolutionaries come in. Jimmy in the lead.
Hello, Jimmy.
I hope you all had just a lovely little bit of sleep there, because we're about to have a fantastic day. See, and now he's coming, and other people are walking in behind him, and they seem significantly less sure than he is. And finally, at the very end, you see the Blood Hunter come in, who seems the least sure of Jimmy of any of them. See, when we was here the last time, you was all flipping things around on me, and it was making me really confused. Because you were sitting there and you kept saying things that you weren't supposed to say, like you were going to try and help us and stuff like this, and it was all mind games, right? Because that's what you do as the Eye Inquisitor, is you play mind games. That's how it works. But I figured it out because I got better mind games than you do, and so now, since I know that you know that I know that you know that you was going to be playing mind games, that you know. Anyways, I can use that against you and make sure that this revolution goes off without an itch, right? And you just see the Blood Hunter in the back just going, dear God.
Jimmy. Of course. We're on the same team.
And you say that, he gets, mind games. I got it. Yes, we're all on the same team. So, see, this is what we're going to do, right? Bring him in. And he kind of snaps that for some reason I can't snap. And you see two of the people just kind of look at each other. And they go outside and they bring in these two, I think it's, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a keg but smaller. I don't know if that's a hogshead or what, but it looks like a keg. It's just a little smaller. You would carry things like gunpowder and things in them. And so he brings in like 3 of them, and you can see in each one of them they have what looks like a wick. But it's a relatively thick wick. It's like, so, we know where we've got to go, right? Because it's your mention. We know that you've got an hidden torture chamber in the basement. Right?
Prefer interrogation rooms, but yes.
So torture chambers. Right. So, that ever since you left, they've been using your house as like a garrison kind of thing, where they just put loads and loads of soldiers in there. And, well, they take people in there and then they just never come back out. So there's loads of soldiers in there, and we've got to get to the basement, which is pretty hard to do when there's loads of soldiers there. So it got me thinking, what if there weren't loads of soldiers there? So what we're thinking is, we've got these bombs, we call them flare-ups, because what they do is you light them and they explode first. And when they explode, they spread all this jelly around everywhere. The thing is it like jam kind of jelly? It's not like strawberry or anything like that. What it is it's super flammable stuff. So at first it explodes, all the jelly's everywhere. And then there's this little bit in the bottom. It takes a little bit longer, and it just makes a little bit of flame. So it does, makes a little bit of flame. But it's jelly, it's not strawberry. Remember, it's not strawberry.
No, not strawberry.
It's fire. See, when the fire touches it, it lights everything up. And so everything within about 50 feet, because it's big. I don't know how they did it. I didn't design it. It's just they gave it to us. Everything within 50 feet just gets lit on fire. Makes a really big fire.
Who I'm sorry to interrupt, Jimmy. I have questions, and I will kind of look. I would kind of side eye look at the Blood Hunter
Uh-huh.
and just be like, um, I don't know that I need to know who gave this to you, but they are trustworthy people, correct?
Oh, yes. I'd give me right toe. Well, one of them. I've only got like 3 left. But I'd give one of them, because he's that trustworthy. He's my mate. I've known him since, like, last week, Thursday.
Okay, and does the Blood Hunter...
The Blood Hunter is just still facepalming.
Well, Jimmy, you're speaking my language.
Fantastic. So, what we're thinking of doing is we go, here's a tavern. It's just down the street, like a mile. So it's pretty close. They would be the closest soldiers to this tavern, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on Tuesday nights, it's packed. So we're thinking what we do, because there's all these people there. We're going to go in, we're going to set this off. Because all the people there, there's going to be lots of panic and stuff like that. There'll probably be some soldiers already. The soldiers will run down as quick as they can. But as they're running, we're going to have 3 more bombs on the roads, next to the houses that are lighting it. And we're just going to let all of those off as they're going through, set them all on fire. And when they're writhing and burning, they send the rest of the people out to try and put them out. By the way, if you're trying to put out a fire made by jelly, you don't want to use like blankets, and you definitely don't want to use water or anything like that.
Oh,
because
yeah,
all
no.
it does is it spreads it everywhere.
Yeah.
I
So
like
while
this
they're all
plan.
burning, then they have all the people out. We can go in. We can go straight down. Maybe there's 1 or 2 guards left. They weren't smart enough to get out. We can kill them, get the people out, and be out of there before anyone even knows we've been there. It's foolproof, see?
I like this plan.
I do have one question.
All right.
What about the innocent people that are there just on their own volition that aren't guards?
Well,
You're just okay with their lives being lost?
do you know how many people are going to die if we don't do this? Listen, we may kill 50, 100 people. All right? If we kill 100 people, that's bad. Do you know how many people this mayor's going to kill just in the next week? No. I hate the fact that this is what's going to happen, but we call this acceptable losses. We're going to save so many more lives than are going to be taken by this. And to be perfectly honest, half of those innocent people, they get cozy with the guards. They like the guards show up at this place and they let them eat there. I mean, they're basically they're basically enabling them. They're helping the guards to do what they do. So
Jimmy?
they're not innocent. And even if they were innocent, we're going to save more lives than those few. They would be proud that their deaths would lead to the overthrow of
Jimmy,
the mayor.
look at me very closely.
Hey, you gonna use your mind powers on me? Because I've got no. Yeah, and he snaps again, and one of the other people goes and brings out a hat. And he gets it and he puts it on. See, and he takes it off again. So you hear it kind of crinkle. He puts it in and you can see it's lined with a very thin lining of a metallic paper-like object. He puts it on. See, because it's lined, you can't use your mind powers on me. I'm immune to your mind powers. So you go ahead and do whatever mind power things you want to do. I'm immune to it.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
do you want to be like me?
No. You're an horrible bastard.
And I'm the kind of horrible bastard that would kill a tavern full of people to get what I need.
But you didn't. You never done that.
So why are you going to do it?
Oh, because some things listen, some things are worth doing it. We've tried being nice. We've tried doing the nice things, and it hasn't worked. And we've tried passive resistance and active resistance and civil disobedience. Like we had like 4 people lock chain themselves to a tree.
Is there... So first off, is there a... Instead of the tavern, maybe we find a different target. Is there an official building, official offices anywhere near here?
All the official offices have like guards in them. Like we'd never be able to set up the bombs. That's why we picked the tavern, because there's no guards in it.
I think we could probably find a way to set off the bombs, or we find a way to clear out the people of the tavern first.
Yes, but if we warn them, and finally the Blood Hunter speaks up, there are rather significant issues with leaks in this city, as you well know.
I'm not saying we give them... First off, I'm sure the leaks aren't as bad as they were when I was there. But more importantly...
time we give people, the more notice we give, even 5 minutes.
30 seconds.
He kind of looks at you, and he comes forward, and he gets as eye to eye with you as he can. He stands about 1.5 feet taller than you. And he looks down. What's your angle on this? This doesn't make sense. We know what you've done. You have no ethics. You have no soul. So why do you care about these people? What is it about these people that is so important to you that you think it's necessary to warn them?
You don't know me very well.
I've seen what you've done.
I'm turning over a new leaf.
A lot of people have said that.
I have a lot to make up for.
Obviously.
That starts today.
Roll a persuasion check.
God. I rolled a 4, so 14.
14.
You rolled a wisdom save, Vala, by the way.
Persuasion check just now.
Oh, it popped up as wisdom save on the roll thing. So I was like, what?
Interestingly enough, same results.
Cool.
Mhm.
He looks at you and he looks... I'm watching you. Alright? You try anything funny with this? He kind of turns himself so that his back is more towards Jimmy. This loon here, he's about 3 pebbles short of a basket. But he is right in that we have tried many, many other attempts and nothing has worked.
And
We've tried reducing civilian casualties. It always ends up with everyone dying. This is not the first group I've attached myself to. The other groups I have are all dead. Most by your hand.
This time will be different. Do you know why?
He pulls a dagger and he cuts his palm and he smears it on you. By my blood. If you get these boys killed the way you've killed all the rest of them, I will not rest until your life is ended. And as he focuses on it, you watch as the blood on your clothes catches fire and then burns this kind of white glow that you've seen Lillian do in her sword. You've never seen it on your own clothes. And it burns away and evaporates. But it leaves this kind of rust stain on your clothing. You recognize a bloodright. You have never seen a bloodright work that way. Like bloodrights work on weapons. You've never seen someone that was able to ignite their blood on something that wasn't on their person. But yeah, it's the same thing you do when you activate your bloodright.
I'll just look him in the eyes and say, perfectly acceptable.
So we're all good now, right? We're all good friends and everything. Well, not friends because you're a bastard, but we're gonna be able to do this, right?
Yes.
So, By 9 o'clock tonight, it'll be packed. We put it in just to make you happy. I'll send one of my boys to the door and just yell fire. 20 seconds, not 30. 30's too long. 20 seconds before, so some of them can get out. How's that?
I was gonna say I can. If I go there, I can ensure everyone is out quickly.
Really not make me feel good. And you see, kind of adjusts his hat. But I know it's not your mind powers.
So there's that. Also, we don't have to go in the front door.
I'm sorry, what?
There are back doors. Hidden entrances.
No, there's not. See, we have the entire place scoped out. We've seen there's no back door. We know. We searched the entire place.
Oh, Lord help me. Oh no, I'm just baffled that you're the one in charge. Continue.
What's that supposed to mean?
We left via one of the hidden entrances.
No, you didn't. No, see, because we had spies. We've got spies inside the manor house, and they said like you went in, you met with the mayor, okay, and the mayor he said you were really good and like you look real pretty and then he said, you know what, you need a vacation, and then he waved his magic wand, because he's got a magic wand, and he waved his magic wand, and then there was a teleportation circle, and then he teleported in Pegasus. So, however, there was like 4 of them. However, whatever 4 Pegasus said, there was 4, right? And you all got on the flying horses, and then you flew away.
Now,
Jimmy?
Jimmy, you are very here. More longer than me. But clearly you don't want the mayor. You don't trust him, right?
Of course, everyone hates the mayor. I'm not even sure the mayor likes the mayor, alright?
So why do you believe what he told you about having out?
It wasn't him that told us, it was one of me spies. That spy is dead now. And at the same time he died, they got a new guard that looked really similar. It's just my buddy had a mustache and this other guy doesn't. Holy shit! I don't know who to believe now. And he turns to Vala. Your friend is really sharp. Have you guys thought about being No, not you. And he turns to Lillian. You are really sharp. She's a bastard. But you are really sharp. Have you thought about being a revolutionary? Or you kind of have like a nun thing going on?
I'm
just saying, if you were to like clean up, because you look like you escaped from a nunnery, to be honest. If you like freshen up a bit, you could probably be a great revolutionary and get rid of the bastard. Anyway, so if we've got a back door, then how do we get to it?
Argenta can guide you.
Alright, so are you not going to be... See, I don't like this plan already, because I want to keep you in sight. As long as I got my cap on, you can't mentalize me. And I'm the only one that's immune to your mental powers.
Here's my thought. The mayor will want me.
What do you mean? He likes you.
Not if I start killing his guardsmen.
Oh, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. And we still get to kill guards, which is a good thing.
I have no problem with you killing gods.
That's interesting. So, wait a minute. Are we still blowing up the tavern and burning people? Because I think that's a really good plan.
It's my MO, so it works.
So exactly how's the plan going now? Because now we're gonna blow up the tavern, burn a bunch of people alive. The guards come. We blow up the guards. More guards come to try and put them out, and then we don't sneak in the front door.
I can make a diversion. I'll try to sneak in. I will try to attack the front door.
I'll be there too.
Okay. So you're going to attack the front door. We go in the back door. How do we get to the back door?
Argenta will guide you. I'll look over at Argenta, right?
Yeah, I can guide them. I've been there before.
Okay.
I can too.
So, Bastard and Robesy here are going to go to the front door, fight off waves of guards. While they're doing that, Deer Slayer and Nunnery are going to go to the back door with my men. We're going to break in the back door. We're going to get the guy you've captured. We're going to leave. Through the front door?
Or the back door.
Or the back door. But if you're at the front door, and all the guards are at the front door, if we come out the front door, and we can sandwich them.
Yeah, but I don't know. You might get in the way of what I can do. I can kill a lot of guards with one finger.
Okay, that's a wee bit unsettling.
I've done a lot worse.
With your mind.
So we go out the back door, and then once we get everyone out, we go and we miss, or we go, wow, this is really confusing now. So when do we kill the mayor?
Well, after we do this and kill his gods, we'll meet back up and then plan the next phase.
Interesting. All right. I was kind of hoping to kill a mayor the same night, but I guess we can do this that way too. Cool.
You might encounter him when you go in the back door.
Yeah.
Ah. This
And
is
baby, you'll be in the tavern.
This is like 7th level planning here. Like, this is really advanced stuff. I didn't even think about this stuff. Wow. This is why you were the bastard that was killing everyone. You're like 7 steps ahead of everyone.
That's right.
That's bonkers. That's what that is. Alright, well, we've got... I can't see the bloody sun in here. Wait a second. He runs outside. You see him look up. He goes, shite, I can't see the sun here. Wait, like, give me 5 minutes. And he runs even further. Very quickly. For Vala, JK472022 has given you a potion of healing.
Ooh.
As well as Henri.
I will likely need this later. Thank you.
For some odd reason, it's almost an inevitability. Thank you so much. You guys, like, everyone else is just sitting there. I'm assuming there's going to be a round of potions, so I'm going to wait to accept the rest of them for them to finish gifting. So, understand more things are happening. Everyone else is just kind of standing around, twiddling their thumbs. 3 minutes passes. All right, it's about let's see, 6 hours till we're gonna have like everything needs to start getting ready, and then another like 5 hours after that. Like everyone needs to be in place early, and then 5 more hours have passed, and then explosions and all that shite, right?
Right.
So Argenta, also take a potion of healing. Again, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That being said, you guys effectively have a day if you want to make any sort of preparations. And they've stopped locking you in the box now. You have kind of been warned that you need to keep a low profile because the city is effectively right now under martial law. But Vala, you know this is a city really well. What is there anything that you guys want to do as far as prep work is considered? You have effectively run of the city.
Okay. Vala will need a cloak
Easy enough.
and a uniform. Something that would look like her old uniform. I don't know if I had... I know I brought at least one out and then burned it. I don't know if I brought a second one. Probably not.
I would say if you want one of your old uniforms, that would be something you would need to physically go into your old manor house to get, because no one in the city would have anything that would even approximate it.
I could try sneaking, and I'm saying this to the others. I think I need one of my old uniforms to pull this off. I could try dimension dooring into my old room and grabbing one.
Can't you just magic yourself to look like that?
Yeah.
I've seen you swap everything on the fly.
That's true.
A lot less riskier.
Yeah. Voice of reason. Then I will try to get some commoner clothes.
Okay.
That I can use to...
Price-wise, the cloak itself will cost you a gold piece because due to the martial law, prices have just skyrocketed. The commoner clothes themselves are only going to cost you a silver.
Excellent.
Any other prep work from the rest of you?
I'm going to be traveling around using like Pass Without Trace and shit, but
Okay.
I would want some more bullets, and then from the same person I bought the bullets, I'll spend I don't know. I just want basically 2 castings worth of powdered silver.
Okay. Powdered silver you can get. The bullets are something you would have to make.
Okay.
Which I'm going to say, as much as you've learned how to use the gun pretty well, I'm going to say you're going to need to spend at least a few nights exclusively focusing on following Commander's notes on how to make bullets.
Okay, so
before you can make your own. But the bullet bag itself had a decent supply in it, so...
Yeah, it does. But yeah, just the powdered silver then.
Okay, yeah, not too much difficulty. What spell are you casting with powdered silver? Just so I can get an idea of how much.
Protection from evil and good, so it's 25 gold worth.
Okay. Triple the cost, because again of the martial law, but you can to get 25 gold worth of it, it'll cost you 75 gold, if that makes sense.
So that's easy enough.
Okay. Cool. Any other prep work?
I am not going out in fear. I will kill our proprietor preemptively.
Gotcha.
And I'm talking about Jimmy, so I'm just hiding myself and urging myself in a corner.
Not even from a transformation. You're just worried that you're going to kill him.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Lillian, anything you wanted to do?
I do. No.
Okay. So, it becomes time. Argenta and Lillian, you guys go to... there's effectively an underground river, which is how you get into the back entrance. So you guys go to the mouth of the river, which is outside the town. While... go ahead.
I was going to say, I will, Argenta, try to free everyone you can find down there. If you can.
I'll try.
Vala and Henri, you guys are effectively already in the tavern itself, sorry, just outside the tavern itself, and you can see Jimmy is with you because he still doesn't trust you, and because of his magical hat, he's the only person that is still immune to your mental powers.
Okay.
So he's with you, and he's got the flare up with him.
Okay. I will use disguise self.
Okay.
To make my features look different.
Okay.
Probably go full human.
All right. So.
And then head into the bar and order a drink.
Okay. So as you could go in, Jimmy gives you. He says he gives you a 12 count, which gives you plenty of time to get up to the bar and order your drink. As you're kind of counting down in your head, as you get exactly to 12, you hear the door get kicked in. You see Jimmy come in. He's like, fire! You see him light the thing and just kind of throw it in the middle where it kind of skittles and rolls a little bit. And he's just kind of standing there for a bit. Realizes he's in the blast zone and books it out.
Oh, God damn it, Jimmy. Prestidigitation put out the fuse.
You can't. The fuse is relatively long, so it looks like the fuse, or not long. It's slow burning. So the fuse itself looks like the 20 seconds he said he was going to give.
Got it. Okay.
Is entirely the fuse burning.
Then I will, as I'm slamming the drink, I will pull off my cloak, cast prestidigitation, and make myself look like myself.
Okay.
But with the uniform. And just say, by order of the mayor, everyone here is a traitor. And cast fear.
All right. What's the DC? I'm not gonna roll for all. There, the place is packed. There's probably close to 40 or 50 people in this relatively small tavern.
It is a wisdom saving throw of 18.
18. Okay, I'm not gonna roll 40 times. But I figure 5 rolls works pretty well. We'll call that 40. That's a 14. It won't make it. 11. None of them have good saves. So we'll say, let's say there's 50 people there. 40 of them are affected by your fear spell and just start booking it to every entrance. There are 2 like main entrances that you could come in here. They are both packed. Once they get congested and people are trying to push through, they start breaking windows and they go out that way. However, about 10 people seem unaffected by your fear spell. And noticing that you have cast a spell, they're a little bit, they don't seem to be confronting you, but they seem worried about everything that's going on, and they don't seem to be currently running anywhere.
You should run, and I will calmly start walking out the door.
That was enough. They start running as well. Again, going through. By the time you hear the explosion behind you, and you feel just the flare up, you're relatively certain most. You don't think absolutely everybody made it out. That last group of 10, maybe 5 of them didn't. But you think most people made it out, and the tavern erupts in flames, hot enough that you start to feel your skin start to burn slightly, like a mild sunburn just from the heat contact.
And I will start slowly making my way up towards the manor house.
Okay.
I will pop out from the alley I was hiding in. I'm just like, you kind of look like a badass walking away from that. I just want you to know.
Thank you. And I will start singing. Oh God, what do I want to do?
This isn't Nightmare Fuel at all.
I mean, I have a song, but you know, DMCA.
Right. I just start
Yeah, if
singing.
you do attempt to sing something, sing it badly enough that no one can tell what it is, or at least the bots can't.
Total slaughter. Total slaughter. I won't leave a single man alive.
So as you're going, it takes maybe about 5 minutes for guards to start rushing down from the manor house, which is really, really good time. And as you see them start coming on, you can see other members start rolling things out with significantly thinner fuses that burn much, much faster.
Yeah.
And you can see the first 20 or so guards come in and are immolated instantly. The road in front of you for the next 200 feet is solid fire. And because it is on a bit of a slope, the fire is slowly kind of rolling down the hill as the jelly itself continues to move. You can see more guards behind it that are kind of just waiting as the fire continues to get closer to you. I think we can put some battle music in.
I was gonna say my fear has worn off at this point. Do I see any crossbows or bows and arrows, spears?
The fire is bright enough that you can't really see specifics on the other side. The lensing from the heat and everything, you can see that there are people on the other side, and you can tell that they're in guard uniforms. But as far as specifics of what they're carrying, you would, knowing the makeup of the guards, you would assume they have at least anywhere between 5 and a dozen crossbowmen, and then a few pikemen, and then the rest are just generally wielding sword and shield.
Okay. I will cast Fly on myself.
Okay.
And kind of look to Henri and be like, you may not want to follow, and just fly over the flames with a silvered rapier in one hand, my dagger in the other, and just I will try to make a big show, and as I'm approaching, start casting Firebolt. Yeah, Firebolt.
Okay. What is your intention with this Firebolt? Are you trying to hit guards? Are you trying to create more chaos? Like, what is your actual intention?
A little bit of both. I want to try to try to hit some of the guards in random areas, trying to get them afraid and fleeing.
Okay.
I'm also just trying to create a big scene, so that way, if there are more guards called, they will head towards this area.
Okay. Make me an Arcana check.
While Vala's doing that and told me not to follow, I will ignore that by casting Mislead and sending my illusory duplicate just walking through the fire to scare the living daylights out of them.
Okay. Sure.
Queen the Doom, yeah. So 17.
Yeah, as you are kind of raining down fire as you fly through the air, you see a couple crossbow bolts just kind of sail past you, but not nearly enough for what you would kind of expect in this situation. And you see, as you're going through and you're throwing fireballs left and right, the guards are sitting there, and you hear faintly over the sound of flames and things like that, "Hold the line! Fuck it!" And their battle line seems to have been broken. There are a few that are remaining that are trying to shoot you, and you kind of pick them off with firebolts, as the rest are just panicking. The road itself is aligned with houses on either side that, because of the explosion, have caught on fire, and the ones going up have all barred their doors. So as the guards try and get out of your way, they go up to doors and that are locked and barred shut, and are just basically being funneled back to your previous manor house.
Okay.
While this is going on, and Henri is just casually walking through flames, as far as the non-illusory version, what do you want to do with your real self on, Riverbree?
Well, since I'm invisible, I will try to maintain visual of Vala, and if I see Vala going, like, just shoot in a direction, I'm going to just be tracking Vala while my illusory duplicate is just trying to cause misdirection.
Okay. The direction that Vala is going, because the fire and everything, the only way to follow her is through the flames unless you fly somehow. So just giving you that information, she's about the only road she is following right now is pure fire.
Well, Vala didn't tell me where Vala was going, so
I mean, it's. I'm making a slow, determined advance towards the manor house.
And you would have been, as part of the quote-unquote planning phase, you would have been shown a map that would show you where you were going. So you know roughly where her manor house is and everything. And I think you guys have been to the manor house at least once. So
yeah. Is the manor house in a direction where I have to go through fire?
This is effectively the sole road that leads up to it. If you want to get creative, you could find an alternate way around, but it would require climbing on buildings effectively.
Oh yeah, Henri with climbing. Now, screw it. I'm just going to, my illusionary duplicate is just going to run into something and disappear as I cast Investiture of Ice.
Okay.
And just start using it like a fire extinguisher and blasting my way through the fire as I'm just walking through it covered in water and ice.
Okay. I will say, whenever you hit the fire on the ground with water, it spreads and doesn't really lessen.
Oh, that's right. Then I wouldn't do that. I forgot they'd mentioned that.
I'd say Investiture of Water, I will say, would probably protect you for most of your trip. No, it would protect you through your trip, but I'll say if you're using it as kind of a protection thing, by the time you get through, your Investiture of Water would effectively be used up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if I'm not taking damage, then that's what I'll do. But
okay,
if okay,
you wouldn't take it, but it'll be a casting of that spell that you've used up.
Yeah, it's my Mystic Arcanum, so it's fine.
Okay, cool. So you guys both make it to the other side, and as the guards are attempting to regroup closer to the manor house and further away from the fire, we're gonna head over to Henri and Liliane.
I think you mean Argenta.
Argenta and Liliane. I knew that. I was just making sure you guys knew that. Sorry, your duplicate thing confused me. So you guys are looking at the cave, and you're slowly making your way up the cave. There's no boat for you guys to use because it's docked further up, so you're kind of walking through like waist deep water. The water in this underground river is relatively shallow, just deep enough for you to for them to be able to push boats through and things like that. It's a little bit louder than I want. Here we go. So you guys are slowly making it up, and you're getting to where you can see the dock itself. And on the dock, there currently is no one there. And you have your blood hunter friend and 4 members of the revolutionaries with you. What would you two like to do?
So we're at the dock?
You're about 100 feet away from the dock.
Okay.
Currently in waist-deep water, so technically difficult terrain.
And who's with us?
You have the blood hunter, and then 4 revolutionaries who are just effectively just carrying makeshift spears. One of them has a big great club.
All right. I mean, I guess we have to get to the dock, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where you're going. And there's no one currently on the dock right now.
Okay.
So
Just I'll cast Pass Without Trace just in case, so that we,
Okay.
sounds lessened and everything as we make our way up.
So when you guys get to the docks themselves, you can see there's a single door that leads into the place, and and that's really it. And the door itself doesn't seem to be locked.
I mean, I guess I'll check if it's trapped.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an investigation to check.
That's going to be a 13.
All right, so looking at the door, there doesn't seem to be anything mechanically on this side. As you kind of test the door itself, you hear the sound of a wire becoming taut, and you think on the other side of the door there is something rigged in some way to a tripwire.
Tripwire?
Yeah. You think with a thin enough blade you could probably cut the tripwire. That would require either a thieves' tool check or a sleight of hand check.
I guess I just kind of look back at them. Do any of you have these tools? Lillian included.
They kind of look amongst each other.
You're muted, Lillian.
I would see. I thought I did.
Thought you did what?
Have the tools.
Oh, okay. I know blood hunters don't get proficiency with thieves' tools as part of it. What's your background?
Criminal.
Oh, so yeah, you would have. Let's just say you do, because that's part of the stuff you would get as part of a criminal. So, if you want to try and use your thieves' tools, since you are trained in them, you can try cutting it, or
I will try.
something you've never done before.
Yeah.
This won't go poorly at all.
So, what is that?
It's dexterity thieves' tools. So you would add your proficiency bonus because being a criminal, you're proficient with them.
7.
Cool.
I did not one.
So you kind of reach through, and you can feel through the door. You can feel the tripwire, and you try and kind of curve the blade so it cuts it, but instead you feel the tripwire trigger, and you guys feel a kind of rumbling, and then you hear this really, really loud scratching sound, like metal on metal, but it's so loud that you instantly have to kind of hold your ears. Why doesn't everyone go ahead and make me con saves?
I assume not us.
Yeah,
valid.
just the people that are actually there.
Like, wow, that's a deadly trap. Screw you guys.
Everybody in the world.
19.
Okay.
15, 1, 5.
Leanne fails. Argenta succeeds. Math is hard. 24 thunder damage for anyone that fails. Half for anyone that succeeds. as this ear-piercing screech kind of hits everyone. You see your 4 revolutionaries hold their hands as quick as they can, and then they all just kind of fall over with little trails of blood going down their ears. They don't look dead, but they seem to have been rendered unconscious. Your blood hunter of a friend is wiping the blood from his ears with an annoyed look on his face.
Are they dying unconscious or stable unconscious?
Stable unconscious.
Okay. So I'll just kind of stand back up after checking. And then is the... For my check, do I know if this is a trap? It's kind of like it triggers once and then it has to be reset? Or is it more, it's always there?
Because it's a tripwire, in order for it to be triggered again, the tripwire would need to be set again, bare minimum. You don't know how the rest of the trap works, but you do know for a tripwire to work, it has to be reset every single time, unless there are multiple tripwires, which you didn't find. So
okay, so then I'll just be like, kind of sigh and carefully turn the doorknob, see if it like catches again.
As you guys open the door, the door is fine. As you look in, you can see what look like. To give an example, you guys would recognize it. Kind of looks like speakers in there, where you have this kind of like wire mesh covering holes, and you think that's where the sound came from, is these holes in the walls. And the walls themselves are lined with like metal and things like that, so it looks like this entire hallway was designed to amplify sound.
Okay.
You guys can see the hallway is not very long. It's only about 15 feet long, and you see a door. And what Vala would have told you about this is on the other side of the door is the interrogation room. And then there will be a door that leads to a staircase that goes up, and then a few other doors that lead to the various holding cells down there.
Vala hears the distant rumble and goes, "Oh shit, did I leave the amp on?" No, I turned that off.
It's the power of valor. So what do you guys wanted to do?
Well,
You can go back or you can go forward. Like, there's not a ton of choices here.
Yep, I guess we're going forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
go forward.
So you guys get forward. You get to the door itself. Do you want to open it? Do you want to check it for traps? What do you want to do?
I guess I'll check it for traps again.
You can give me another investigation check.
Yep. 9.
9. You detect no traps.
I'm gonna open it.
Open it. Opens pretty easily. The door itself has this kind of whine to it as it opens, like the hinges haven't been oiled in a century and a half. So it kind of... As you open it, you see a grizzled-looking gentleman, relatively tall. He's got a scar on one side and another one that goes up here. One of his eyes is white, and you can see the telltale signs of a noose mark that seem to have never have healed. In one hand, he holds a bundle of chains that have bits of glass and jagged metal kind of adhered to them with hooks at the end. And in the other hand is what looks like an oversized meat cleaver. And he goes, "Well, seems like I get to have some fun tonight." And that is where we are going to end it for tonight. As always, if you enjoyed this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TraderJody. You can catch the entire series over there, as well as my other things. I also have D&D Deep Dive there. I would like to say welcome to those of you raiders that came over here with the raid. Thank you so much for showing up. If you guys want to keep coming back, we do have a system where you can use channel points to affect the game. As you can see, you can give things like potions of healing. You can cast first level spells on the party. You could even create NPCs or even add enemies or even create boss encounters for the party. So this is a thing where you can actually interact with the storytelling. So please come back. We always like to do that. Because I got a raid, I would feel super, super bad if I did not pay it forward. So I'm going to very quickly check to see which of my friends are currently streaming. Gil is one of... hey, this is super easy. I can just get rid of you, can't I? I am not interested in becoming famous, so thank you for that. All right, so we're gonna raid one of my buddies. He I don't even know what he's playing right now. What is he playing? Borderlands. He's playing Borderlands with a buddy of his. He's super cool. And I need to switch to that. So let's go ahead and raid him. Gil. Gil, what is your channel name? It's hard. Gil and Nin. Gil and Nin. There we go. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Did I just unraid? Really? I can't tell if I actually raided. I'm going to try this one more time. Kill and... There we go. Start raid. There we go. I don't know if I raided, but thank you so much for tuning in. And that, again, is all for me. So, bye-bye. There, I think this time we're actually going to raid, now that I'm not breaking it. So, say hi to Gil, tell him to roll for initiative, and bye-bye.